Hey y'all, and welcome to the Southland Piper. I'm your host Tim. Hope you're doing well today. Well, I've in the past had questions about my buffing process and how I get my pipes to shine up, so I thought I'd cover that today. So let's turn around to the workbench and take a look. All right, I've got a couple of pipes to work with here. I've got a Kamoy and a Weber, um, and we're going to do two different applications on these. I know not everybody's got a buffer at hand, so there's a product you can't. The before and afters kind of faded out, but it's by the same people that I use all my before after products, especially my deoxidizer. But this is their restoration balm, and I'm gonna use it on the Kamoys, and then on my buffer I use Carnauba wax, and we'll be using doing that to this Weber we've got here. So let me go ahead and put the application on the Kamoy because it needs to sit about 30 minutes or so. I don't remember exactly, but I think it's somewhere around 30 minutes. And we'll let that sit. And while we're doing that, while it's sitting, we'll put the other one on the buffer. Just give a good liberal coating, I guess, and we'll let that sit for 30 minutes. Now the buffer that I use, originally it's made for jewelry, but I need to make sure I got a variable speed buffer, and this is what this one is. I think it's 1750 RPM up to 20,000 or so, something like that. Don't ever run it at its highest speed. I'll run up a few thousand RPM when applying the wax because you got to generate some heat for that wax to penetrate. And I use a dedicated buffing wheel for the wax, and then a dedicated one for buffing it off. It just says no wax or shining it up. On that, when I go to put the shine on it, I will run it down to the 1750. Go nice and slow on it. So first thing I'll do is I'll turn her on and apply a little wax, and I'll see if y'all can hear me over. Well, what I may do is let me unplug my dust collection system. All right. I don't think that'll be too bad. That way I don't have to do a voiceover, and y'all can just hear me as I'm buffing. Bring that speed on up. You start to put a shine on there. You can see some of the wax starting to build up, and we'll deal with that in a minute. Okay, let me talk about how I deal with this wax buildup. And I'll use a little heat. You can see that on there. And we'll just melt that. I generally don't do this until I've totally buffed up the pipe. We'll just melt that excess down. I'll go ahead and do this so you can see hopefully some of the wax on there already. So let's go over here, bring it down, with just a light touch, low speed. And okay, now you can, well, don't hit it too much. You can see it start to polish up. Use a fair amount of pressure. Like I said, we want to create heat in that briar when applying the wax. Now, there's all kinds of ways to buff pipe, but this is the way I do it. It works for me. So now you can see all the excess wax we have on there. We'll just melt it back down again. All right, so the excess is now melted down. Going back down to nice slow. All right, and I have a little excess in these parting lines. Dust. Of course, you'll get some, it's not too bad here, but you'll get some little bit of dust down in the bowl. I need to work on that a little bit. The rim. Yeah, there you go. Not much to it. But not everybody's got a buffer. So let's go up and go back and hand buff the chamois. Well, we're still waiting on the one pipe to finish its time, but we'll take a little closer look at the Weber. Looks much better. Now I'll say this, this isn't a high-end pipe. The high-end pipes are going to be sanded a little bit better, a lot of smoother finish to begin with. Um, so, they would take the buffing process better. And some pipes, I can buff some pipes in 10 minutes, and some may take me an hour. Some pipes just don't take well to the buffing process for whatever the reason is. So as soon as this one finished, we'll get back to it and we'll do a little hand buff on it. Now to finish up this one, I'll just use this, it's t-shirt material, cotton cloth. Won't take long. Of course, it's not going to be as high of a gloss as the Carnauba wax, but this gives a nice alternative to folks that don't have a buffer. So there it is. It just turns out nice and easy and does a good job. Some people will take a little nose oil and rub on their pipes, give them a little shine. That will tend to darken them a little bit over time, but it's a good alternative some people use. We'll mention one other thing I do not use, which is shellac. This is a Medico, and it has shellac. Now, shellac will last a long time and be nice and shiny. It does have a few drawbacks. You see on the rim where the heat has gotten to the shellac a little bit, and it started chipping off a little bit here. Now this pipe, I'll remove the shellac when I redo it, but some people do use shellac. Well, I hope this has been helpful and you've learned a little bit. So appreciate you sharing your time with me today, and talk to you soon. Bye.